See you next week.
Yes. Sorry, I'm like, next week. Oh,
Yeah, it's next week.
yeah. Perfect.
Okay, go live.
You just tell me when.
Being live streamed. Got it. It didn't ask me where I want it saved to, so let's just go to my computer. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, redirecting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you
Okay,
soon.
we're live, guys.
Amazing. Welcome again to our weekly Wednesday live here in the land of wherever. I'm Loz, and I have joining me Chelsea Jean and Dr. Oz, as per usual, our untrustworthy but most trustworthy sidekicks of all time. How are we, guys?
Hi, Loz. Yeah, I'm in my office, like normally as I am, but you're out and about doing all the things today. And look, Oz is doing what he's told to in his office.
Oh, I'm probably going to cut out. Yep, it's all right. Hold on. Is that better?
Little bit better.
Am I back? Yeah, I've just dropped out of Wi-Fi, so I'll just stand in Wi-Fi until I stop talking. And so today, guys, I will be out and about, so I'll be sort of on and off the screen, but we're going to be talking about brain health and the ways that you can improve your brain health and boost your brain for better cognition. So if this is the first time you have joined us, we go live every Wednesday, 11 a.m. here on Facebook. And today we'll be live streaming to the Chelsea Jean Lymphatics Facebook page as well. So if you are joining us live, welcome. If you are joining us in the future, please use the word replay with a hashtag in front of it so we know that you've been engaging with our content. We always love to know who's watching, who's getting some value. If you've got any questions, as per usual, please fire those into the chat. Or if you are watching this on Facebook, you can pop them in the comments. If you're watching this on a replay, please ask us any questions for future conversations. We always love to address all of your concerns. So if you've got anything specific you'd like us to talk about in future lives, we would love to hear from you. You can find us all on our social media channels, and this will also be on my YouTube channel, and Oz will be streaming this to his podcast. You doing it live this week? Live stream the podcast or down the track, Oz?
No, down the track, yes, not live.
Down the track, excellent. And so my name's Loz, I'm a healthy habit coach. I help busy people prioritize their eating, breathing, sleeping, moving, and hydration, and that will help them unlock better happiness, health, vitality, performance, focus, and confidence. And joining me is Chelsea and Oz, and I will let Chelsea introduce herself, and I will mute myself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Chelsea Jean. I am a Brisbane naturopath who specializes in lymphatic health. So your lymphatic system takes up 15 liters of your body and is responsible for keeping the fluid levels in check, helps with your metabolism, helps with your immune system, and just general day-to-day issues, even like weight and cellulite, can all be affected through your lymphatic system. So I'm all about teaching you how you can look after your lymphatic system at home or coming into our Brisbane clinics. Oz?
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz from BooB Vitality. I'm located also here in Brisbane, Brookwater, and I'm an integrative and peak performance clinician. I specialize in inflammation, gut health, and body contouring, combining technology with high doses of natural supplements to get you to your peak, to reach your peak performance.
And guys, we all have our unique perspectives on how we can help you stay energized and empowered to make better decisions about your future health, your family, and your loved ones. And maybe that'll rub off on your community, and you will be able to lead the conversation when it comes to living a healthy and bio-optimized life. Because we work with a broad spectrum of clients, you know, in each of our modalities, we love coming together every week and offering you sort of the best advice across all of our modalities, and that allows you to make more informed decisions. So today's topic is brain health. I'm imminently about to get in my car, so I will turn myself off very shortly. But brain health, like, what does it mean to you? And maybe you're here listening going, Yeah, well, I don't really know what to do about my brain. I spend a lot of time maybe focusing on how I look and how my body feels. But have you actually ever considered specifically the things that you're doing in your everyday life that you can do to optimize your brain health? So I'd love to really go to Oz, because I can see Oz has got something written on his whiteboard behind him. You know, Oz, what does brain health mean to you in terms of your practice?
Like I'm going to maybe talk about from the point of view of inflammation, and that would be talking about neuroinflammation in particular. And one thing that most people don't know is that neuroinflammation is something very common. According to some stats from the World Health Organization, it's more than 20% or around 20% of the world's population will suffer from some degree of neuroinflammation. This is taking into consideration kids, adults, people with obesity, people with chronic disease.
Untrustworthy, but most trustworthy sidekicks of all time. How are we, guys? Hi, Loz. Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm in
my
office,
technology.
as I am, but you're out and about.
What do I do
today? And look, Oz is.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. It's just the Facebook is a little bit behind us, and I was just seeing if there was any comments. So sorry. Keep going, Oz.
So then neuroinflammation is something that, according to the World Health Organization, more than around 20% of the people around the world will suffer about neuroinflammation. This is taking into consideration kids, adults, people with chronic disease, people with obesity, and the things. Now, in terms of my practice, that number goes much, much higher, because obviously I work mostly with adults, people with already with chronic disease, with obesity. And I would say in my practice, more than 70% of the people suffer from neuroinflammation. So what is neuroinflammation? Is basically what happens is, neuroinflammation happens when the brain's immune cells become overreactive or overactive, however you want to call it, and that will lead to inflammation and the subsequent damage of nerve cells. And if that stays for a long time, it can cause chronic problems like dementia, MS, etc., etc. The main symptoms on an acute condition, or when this is just starting, would be symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, memory problems, mood disturbances like mood swings, that kind of things, and even some kind of cognitive decline. The main reason for this to happen is because of a deficiency on some nutrients, mostly omega-3. That's the main supplement that covers the cells of most of the cells in the body. And when there's a deficiency on omega-3, the interaction between the outer the space of the cell and the inner space of the cell gets compromised, and then there's no signaling coming in, no signaling coming out, no toxins coming out, no water coming in, and that will cause neuroinflammation and the symptoms that we just talked about. So what is the best way to treat this is with well, number one is to know if you have a deficiency on omega-3. Number two, to determine the level of neuroinflammation that you have, and then obviously adjust concentrations of omega-3 in your diet with supplements and with obviously fruit that is rich in omega-3.
And I think a lot of people disregard their diet in terms of brain health. Would you agree?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look what happened when we started to have more sugar and low fat foods. So maybe if the studies, Oz, when you have a look at the studies, is when they told us to stop eating all of those good omegas and having all of those fats, whether all of this dementia and Alzheimer's and neurological diseases did then peak when that fat changed and the sugar increased in our diets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very interesting, because diet is one of the most crucial factors when it comes to brain health, right? Like, as in terms of things that people are already doing that they could improve on.
Yeah, well, when you eat better, you feel better. I mean, we know that there's that gut-brain relationship. But we also have to nourish and know how important those fat cells are. Like some of the statistics that you read about how much power your brain actually, like 70% or something, you know, is fats needed for your brain to work. Even if you just laid and did nothing, isn't it that your brain uses so much? Do you know then anything more on that, Oz? How much your brain needs to function?
Won't have the numbers at the moment, but one thing to understand with the brain is the organ in your body that needs more energy is your brain, more than any other organ, more than your heart, more than your bowel, more than your stomach and the things. So, and the brain is working like the same as all your organs, is working full time, but your brain is working at a high level, 24 hours a day, even when you are sleeping, because even when you are sleeping, your brain is working. Your brain needs to recover, needs to get everything. It's like, okay, everybody goes to sleep. The brain needs to keep the body working properly. Yeah, so the amount, and some studies say that we need more sugar for the amount of energy that we need for the brain. However, we have to understand what type of sugar we need. Yeah, because that's like every time we say sugar gives you energy, it's not sugar, it's carbs. Your carbs is going to be used as energy, as the main energy for the brain. But it's not carbs in the form of refined sugar. Like that's just going to have a stimulate, like an effect of a stimulation and then a drop. And that's not what you want for your brain. You want a consistent, you know, source of energy getting there. And that comes from your diet, a clean, healthy diet. Here we're not talking about supplements, that we need a lot of supplements to obviously supply for the nutrients that we are deficient on. We're just talking about a normal diet will keep your brain working properly. Yeah.
And people don't realize, like, it's so important to not rely on supplements. And I think people, when they think about brain health, they think of things like, I mean, I know a lot of clients of mine, and they think about things like nootropics. Straight up, they're like, oh, what supplements can I take to boost my brain? And it's like, well, what are you actually eating? And I think it's also important to regard, you know, really good, vibrant colored leafy green vegetables and things like berries that are full of antioxidants, also really good for your brain health as well. You know, it is, you know, it is a weird conversation to have, because people are so programmed to think, oh, if I eat fat's bad. But your brain needs oils, it needs fats to function. And Chelsea, you talk about a system of the body called your lymphatic system, right?
Yeah, so all of this work, we've just spoken about all of the work that the brain does, and it doesn't shut off. Like it's going, it's doing your normal work, but in the background, it's also making sure that you're breathing, that you know, you don't touch the hot things, you're walking, and all of those, how your body's, you know, in how your body is in relation to other things. So you've got all that background work that it's also doing. Plus you've got that monkey brain saying, you know, oh, do you really want to be doing this? Wouldn't it be better if we were just at the beach? Or I wonder what those kids are doing at home. So all the three different things that your brain is working on, it's going to create some waste. There's going to be a toxic load that then has to be removed. And this is the lymphatic system that I love talking about, because our lymphatic system is from our neck, you know, down, and our glymphatic system is from our neck up. And the glymphatic system was only discovered, I think, 8-9 years ago. It's really tricky to discover these things, because the glymphatic is a clear fluid, and we really only do tests on dead people, and we can't really see this fluid when we're dead. So it's not like an area of study that has been looked into too much for a long time. But this glymphatic system does the same as the lymphatic. It picks up that waste from your brain, and it takes it down to your heart and puts it back, all of that waste back into your circulatory system, so then it can be removed from your kidneys and your liver and sweat and breath and all of those things, how we get rid of toxins. But if we're not draining our brain properly, then we are going to have a build-up and a build-up and a build-up and confusion in our heads. So The couple of ways that I like to teach about draining your brain. One is to make sure that you're not always stressed and your shoulders are really high up and you really clench your teeth and your jaw's really tight and you're stressed and your face, and when you're headache, you've got everything like really tight and pumped. Any of that tightness is going to stop that fluid draining down from your brain. The other thing is when we go and have a beauty treatment, most women will have a facial or have been told to always brush their face up because that's going to somehow get rid of wrinkles if we brush against the wrinkles going down. That's also incorrect. So the easiest way to brush and to drain your lymphatic system is by using a toothbrush, and I don't have one here, so I'm going to use a paddle pop stick, and open up your chest area like we do when we do our lymphatic breakdown. Move your jaw around, pretend you're a lion for a couple of bits, move that jaw, move your neck from side to side, and then just start brushing those lymph nodes around your neck. So pretty much the lymph nodes around your neck is the only place that a doctor touches you. They'll go, oh, yes, your immune system, I can feel those nodes. Well, we want to drain down towards those nodes. Now, you can take your toothbrush in your car, have it sitting at your desk with you. A paddle pop stick works really well, actually, Oz. And then we're draining down, down, down your neck. Then what you're going to do is draw a line down the middle of your face. I'm lucky because, see, I've already got one implanted like right in the middle of my eyes anyway. And you're going to then start from the bottom and push softly and gently, brush your skin over to your ear. We call this the wagon wheel ear, this collection point, wagon wheel point, and then drain it down, down, down. And then we do that to the other side as well. So drain from the bottom and then across from your nose to your ear and down. Continue all the way up your face. Hop onto my website. You'll find me doing this quite a bit. So that's one way that you can manually drain your lymphatics, but the secret is getting back to your sleep laws. Is sleeping is when all of this has to drain, and sleeping on your left hand side has been shown the way the more of a drainage pathway, sleeping on your left hand side than on your right. Do your lymphatic system drainage before bed, and then have a really nice sleep for all of that waste to be able to be popped down and then removed out of your body. So we need to, sleep is the key when it comes to detox, making sure that your body is relaxed, can move, everything can flow. So we can just support this natural detox flow and process of your brain.
And that's such a fascinating thing to discuss, because I don't think people even know about their lymphatic system. They don't realize the correlation between it and all of the other functions in their body, and as well as the impact of their sleep. And the reality is it's pretty hard to have high levels of cognition when your sleep is crap. I think I've lost you.
No, you're here.
Oh, am I still there? It said that my phone has overheated because it's a piece of crap.
No, but it's a really cool screen. Like you are stuck on my screen, like doing this really cool face. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of it and send it.
Excellent. That's what I want to hear. I'm not doing some random face. So guys, when it comes to boosting your brain health in terms of your habits, there are a lot of things that I think that people forget have quite a high implication on the way that their brain feels and functions. And those things, other than diet, include doing things that actually stimulate your brain. Like if you're sitting at home watching daytime TV, like, Dr. Phil, and that's all you're doing all day, chances are you're not getting a hell of a lot of brain stimulation. So doing something where you have to think, even something where you don't really have to think, but it's keeping you stimulated. The obvious stuff, people go, oh, let's do puzzles and let's do Sudoku, let's play words with friends. But learning an instrument, getting outside, doing some physical activity, places where you're actually helping encourage that level of what we call neuroplasticity, and we're forging new neurological pathways in our brain. All of these things matter. Getting sunlight, on your eyes, natural sunlight. I'm not talking sun through a window in a car when you drive to the train station or work. We're talking getting proper unfiltered sunlight onto your eyes. Another great thing that can help with, boosting your brain, boosting the levels of hormones in your body, that make you feel better. What it feels like when you have had many, many, many rainy, overcast days. You can develop a bit of a sense of feeling a bit meh. They call all that seasonal affective disorder, right? Sad. People's brains start taking a toll as a consequence of not getting enough sunlight. There is a biological consequence to that. So something as simple as going out in the sunshine, without some sunglasses on, allowing the sunlight to hit your retinas, moving a little bit, taking some proper deep breaths rather than shallow breaths when you're humped forward at your desk all day, sitting up nice and tall and taking some beautiful, nutritious, warming breaths in through your nose. That can really help you with your brain as well. And increasing your levels of oxygen through your body through breathing is a really effective way to actually increase your cognitive function. So all of those things matter, and I think hopefully people that are listening to this today have walked away learning just a little bit more about why their brain is important, and just some of the really simple strategies they can actually start doing today to make their brain feel better.
Yeah, mindset matters was Gary Vee's talk on the weekend, and we've got to make sure that our brain has the right ingredients, and can get all the muck can be removed from the brain as well. But definitely making sure that you've got a good team around you, that when your mind does go a little bit astray, like we know that happens. We know like women can ups and downs with the hormones and different things. We know that sometimes we can get a little bit out of control with where our mind is, but having people around you who can support you and say, oh, okay, no, that's not real. A lot of the time we make up stories and we live in fear of, oh, this could happen and this could happen. And the stories that we tell ourselves that 99% of the time isn't even going to happen. The stress that we put on ourselves and our mind. And so doing those things, stopping, breathing, asking the question, is this true? What's that saying about it's the wolf that you feed? It's the good, what was it? He had a boy and there was two wolves, and the good one and the bad one. And it was like, which wolf is one wolf's getting stronger than the other? And it's like, okay, well, it's which one do you feed? So whether you decide to jump into that mindset of fear and negativity and blame and excuses, or whether you're going to go, no, stop, that's not true. It's actually things that I can do. I can breathe. I can go out in the sun. I can feed my body nutritiously.
Yes.
I can rub my face with a toothbrush. Even though I look like a dick, might feel like a dick, I can rub my face with a toothbrush and, and feel better and drains away some of that waste, and then feed it nutrition with food, and then feed it, positive thoughts, listening to podcasts like you and I, we all we all have motivational speakers and people that we listen to. We've all got our go-tos when we're feeling bleh and things not working. We ring each other.
We do.
We ring each other. We've got that support. Like, don't think that everybody listening, don't think that we've got our shit together 100% of the time. I would say we've got our shit together 80% of the time, but that
absolutely
is we still go through the ups and the downs, the sickness and the disappointment, and with business and with personal life as well. So, but we've got a good way of dealing with it. We know that we have a breakdown before we have a breakthrough. We know that the energy and everything gets shaky when something new is coming along, and how much do you want it? We know what that process is and how to ride through it to the next side. And I think that's where this whole mindset and having a good coach comes into things, to be able to help you not react.
Yes.
in a way that is going to turn your brain into a more scattered place where you don't really need to be. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's so much you can do, guys. So if you are finding that your memory is starting to get worse, or your energy levels are starting to get lower, be proactive, educate yourself. You have the capacity to make changes to your life. And if you are sick and tired of the way your life is feeling and the outcomes that you're getting, and you're disappointed with where you are in your life right now because you feel like you should be further along than you are, that's okay. But do something. Because unless you start to change what you do in a day and start addressing these things with some proactivity, nothing will change. Nothing will change.
Now,
We
I
could
haven't
talk about
seen
this.
what Oz has got on his, I can't see the board, Oz. Did you want to, what have we got on there? Okay.
In a second. Just as a perspective of how the impact that your brain has on your day, there was a research written, maybe an article written maybe like a few years ago about how 1 hour of mental exercise is equivalent to 7 days of physical exercise. If you go 7 days to the gym and you feel exhausted, 1 hour, 1 day of mental exercise or mental stress is like 7 days of being at the gym. So
Yeah.
that's how much we need to get that brain rest, relax. And as you said, there's 99% of the things that we worry about. There's another research on that one. And the research says that 50% of the problems that we usually think about come from the past. We cannot change the past. 50% of the problems that the other 50% comes from the future. And we cannot change the future. We cannot do anything. Like, we don't know if the future is going to happen. It's just around 1% of the problems that we have that actually are from the present. And the present is just 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
That's a part of your brain that has to be active. Like, but the problem is that our brain is thinking too much on the past, too much on the future, and is forgetting about the present. And just catch yourself every time you're thinking about something. What is it about? And you see that if you're anxious, or if whatever you're thinking is making you feel stressed, it comes from the future, something that hasn't even happened. And if you feel a little bit sad, depressed, it comes from the past. So something that already happened and you cannot change. So is it really worth it? Put all that effort in your brain to think about things that are maybe never going to happen, or things that already happened and can be changed, and then getting that all that stress. So what it says here is nourish the mind, and it will illuminate your world with clarity, creativity, and resilience. Prioritize brain health.
Love that.
That's what it says.
Love that. And if you are struggling to get into the moment, guys, because you are thinking about the future and, you know, catastrophizing about what hasn't happened, and you are constantly going through the things that have happened in the past and then ruminating over that and getting anxious and occupying all this bandwidth in your brain without actually being in the moment, maybe just stop and breathe and focus on your breath. Find ways to come back into your body, because that is the most effective way to be mindful. And when you are mindful and you're in a moment of gratitude, it's actually impossible to be thinking about all those other things. It actually is impossible, which is why I teach people how to meditate. I ran a group through a meditation on Monday, a group of lovely women who work at a police place. And, you know, they just said they forgot what it felt like to be in their body. And I love hearing that, because in that moment, which is all we have, is this moment, and now this moment, and this moment, and this moment, nothing matters except for what's going on. And if you're spending most of your time thinking about shit you can't control, what's that going to do? So mindset does matter. And I love you guys brought that up to culminate our conversation today. Is there any other further comments that you'd like to make?
Yeah, I just wanted to run what Oz said about, you know, physical and brain health. So my dog, she's a German short-haired pointer. She runs me absolutely crazy. She is just on, crazy, like full on. So I was walking her in the morning, in the afternoon, running, like doing all these things to try to exercise this energy out of her. But all I was doing is making her fitter. And then she would want to run more. When I started to play games with her and hide things around the yard and like making her brain work, she calmed down a lot, and she was using a lot of her energy doing, you know, activities more than me just trying to run this energy out of her. So it just shows how much brain power to running, you know, so that's what that part of things. And then, yeah, this, the whole thing, we always come down to stop, take a breath, have a look, what's red, go through the red door, and what you're going to get is red and negativity and more stress, and or go through the green door where we're going through that positivity of what might happen. So yeah, loved being on the call with you guys today, talking about our brains and our thoughts, and it's where we need to start. Mindset is super important when it comes to any health program. And if I can't get any one of my clients to change their mindset and then change their habits, then I want long-term effects. And if they're just coming in to do just a short-term fix, you know, it's not really my path. I like to make big changes in people's lives, and mindset really matters when it comes to that.
Sure does. And what about you, Oz? Any closing remarks?
Just this.
Just this. Just this. I've already done it.
Health. So
Yeah.
it's important. Like, you want to be happy, you have to start from here.
Your mental
You cannot be
fitness is
happy if you
super
don't
important.
understand what happiness is.
Definitely. Well, thanks so much for joining us, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed today's content. Sorry for being so restless and moving around. It's just got shit to do. But we'll be back next week as per usual, same time, same place. Might stream to Oz's page next week. We'll see how we go. But it's been a pleasure, as always, to deliver you some awesome content this Wednesday. Hope you're well. Remember to hashtag replay if you do watch this back. I now have sparkly, well, not sparkly, but pink nails, which is, I didn't start with those today. And we'll see you on the other side.
Thanks, everybody. Have the best day.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.